Stephen Okwori is a security and crime management consultant. He joins me in the studio to speak on this. Thank you so much. Good to see you on Newsnight. And I'll also say Happy New Year to you.
Yeah, thank
since
you.
it's the first time we're seeing this year.
Yeah.
So much has been said about the state of insecurity in Nigeria, but have we rightly diagnosed what are the fundamental issues here, that it's gone on for over a decade and we're still asking ourselves exactly, how did we find ourselves here? Let's take the issue of Plateau State, for example. A lot of people, on the one hand, some say, look, it's about genocide, others say it's land grabbing, and what have you. Looking at it from that point of view, what do you think is fundamentally wrong?
Now, to respond to this question, I think it is important that we look at it historically.
Right.
Yeah, because if we don't look at it that way, we won't be sure of what we are trying to figure out or trying to find out. And
or even try to solve.
Yeah, exactly. So by doing that, it is important that a proper investigation is carried out. At least with that investigation, it will unravel the law enforcement agencies and even the government to be sure of what they are trying to do. What's really the problem. We hear different stories about these attacks. We hear that they are marauders, they are headsmen, and all the likes, terrorists and bandits and all this. The fact of the matter is that people that perpetrate these acts are not arrested. In the event where they are arrested, then we should be able to trace where they are coming from. Are they bandits? Are they terrorists? So all this, for me, they're just hearsay.
Right.
Yes, because we are not looking at who are the people. Who are they? Let us see that they are arrested. Yeah. So in doing this, we should be able to carry out this, the task of trying to see that these guys are arrested. What are the law enforcement doing? Now, there's a lot of media show, if you ask me. The governors of the North Central are there. Previously, the federal government led the dedication by the vice president. Also there, the CDS and the Minister of Humanitarian Affairs. All there, donating large sums of money. These are not the solutions to the problem.
Do you think the coming together of the governors of the North Central who have been directly involved or impacted by the Christmas Eve attacks in Plateau State, and of course another one again happened in the same Plateau State.
Yes.
Do you think it's just a show? Because this seems to be reminiscent of the Amotekun attempt in southwest Nigeria. How effective do you think this coming, together by North Central governors, how do you think it will work in pushing back insecurity challenges?
There's a Chinese proverb that says that the best time to plant a tree is about 20 years ago.
Right.
And another best time is now. It's a good thing that they have come together. I think this coming together is long overdue, because there are certain criminal challenges that are prominent in the North Central. For instance, kidnapping cuts across the whole 7 North Central states. Bandit attacks, we see them in Niger, Kogi, and Plateau now, and all that. Herdsmen attacks, we see it in Benue, and it cuts across the 7 North Central states. Right now, I expect that the special advisors to the governors on security, they should be thinking out of the box now. Because for me, whatever experience that they have gathered and why they are appointed as special advisors, we should see that at work.
When you say they should be thinking out of the box now, exactly what should they be coming up with in terms of strategy? At least the strategy that they can put out there that will not jeopardize whatever they put in place. What are the elements that must be factored in if this move is going to succeed? Now,
if I want to look at the strategies that they should put in place, I think that the crimes that we're experiencing right now are local.
Right.
These crimes happen, or these attacks happen in our local rural communities. And of course, you agree with me that these local rural communities lack the conventional security presence. These attacks that we're seeing, if you go to those communities, you see that there's no presence of police or even the soldiers there. Now, in handling the issues, I think that the right way to go, and I've said it before, is to tackle it locally. How do you do that? You are aware that there's a vigilante group. Also, the Nigerian Hunters and Forest Security Service. These are local groups that I think that they can hold or close the gap in the event where the presence of these conventional security agents are not there. I watched Senator Lalong where he was angry at the military when they said that the proximity to these communities was, they complained about the proximity, you know. In the event where they don't get to these places because of no roads to these communities, some of them, but we can have presence of this local vigilante or the security hunters association in these communities. They can put them together. What's wrong with that? And with the help of technology, what are our choppers doing? We have helicopters here. In 10 minutes or less, these choppers can be in these communities where these attacks are happening. What are they doing?
What are they doing? Very good question. Former President of the Senate, David Mark, says, look, it will not be out of place to declare an emergency on security.
Yes.
And just like you said, whatever good thing that needs to be done should have been done years ago. Will that, at least to a large extent, solve the problem if an emergency is declared? And when you declare an emergency in security, what would it even look like?
I think that the call for an emergency declaration bordering on security is long overdue. You understand? But the call, I would say, is timely. But this call should be devoid of politics.
Right.
You understand? It should be devoid of politics, because when we play politics, when we bring politics into security, we can never get it right. You know, so it should be devoid of politics. We should look at the issues and recommendations by critical stakeholders in the security sector. You know, where are these recommendations? I made bold to say that in the last assembly, the 9th assembly, when Bajabiamila was speaker, there was this national special security committee that was put up, you know, to look at the issues and how to remedy the challenges. And I made about 7 recommendations how security can be tackled locally.
What are they?
And I talked about the vigilante, you know, establishing it, let it be in the security architecture. We're looking for solutions here. You know, all the security agencies are there. They cannot do it alone. It's obvious that they cannot do it alone. So they need the support of local to be able to close in the gap.
And speaking of the security agencies, sorry, I need to, you know, butt in here. A lot has been said about the seeming lack of synergy among the security agencies, and in some cases overlapping, you know, responsibilities and duties that may be getting in the way. A lot of people, analysts like yourself, have said, look, where is the police in internal security? It is their #1 job. Why bring the military in? That may even be complicating the matter, you know, further. Yeah,
but you agree with me that it's clear that the police are overwhelmed. And that's why we have the presence of military, you know.
That seem to be overwhelmed too.
Yeah, they seem to be overwhelmed. And that is why we are talking about establishing other structures that can also handle these things in a way, locally. Now, the objective is one. It's a common objective amongst the security agencies. So when analysts like us come sit down and will make certain recommendations, I think that those recommendations should be looked at. They should harness the benefits of these recommendations that we make. And that is why I still stand my grounds to call on the establishment of the local vigilante and also the Hunters Association and other. I was here last week or so, and I talked about the Homeland Security that was established in the US. It wasn't there before.
Yeah, after you know, September 11th.
Exactly. Yeah. So why did the US government now say, no, we won't establish Homeland, there's FBI, there's CIA and the likes? But they deemed it fit that, okay, let us put up something that should be able to tackle that.
There was also talk about National Guard way back. I think it was under the military administration of Ibrahim Babangida. I can't recall now. But there was such talk, but that was shut down.
Yes.
What's wrong with the National Guard? And how will it even solve the problem?
Let us look at solutions. If they think that National Guard, by resurrecting it, will bring solutions to these things, because Nigerians are tired of the constant message of condemning the perpetrators, condemning the act, you know, sympathizing with victims, going to donate monies that will not bring back these lives. So they are looking at solutions. We are tired of giving security agencies or service chiefs marching orders. We are tired. We should be looking at solutions. And that is now I expect that the governors of the North Central State should go back to their various states, look out for how they can come together, form this synergy, you know, and collaborate with one among themselves. In Benue, they are also killing, you know. Killings are happening everywhere. Everybody is vulnerable, kidnapping people. Nigeria is, I don't want to use the word that we are entering a state where we are seeing symptoms or features of a failed state, if you ask me.
We'll have to leave it there. Stephen Okwori is a security expert. Thank you so much. Well, I'm told that we can actually ask one more question.
Okay.
And that question would be, why have we not been able to tackle this problem? It's over a decade. I started, with that.
Yes.
Has it been politicized? Has it become, is the genie out of the bottle, that some have seen that this is a veritable source of income for them?
Well, certainly you agree with me that is a way of making extra money, because monies are voted into taking care of these challenges. As I'm talking to you now, a lot of monies are being dished out to see that these issues are handled, And politics, just like I said, it's also playing a serious game in it, because people now begin to look at it the other way, be it ethnic, be it religious, and all that. That's why I said, if we want to tackle this thing, we should face it head on, and tackle it. And it should be devoid of all these elements that we look around it that are causing or adding to the challenges.
So it must be local, based on what you said
for
earlier.
Now, let it be local.
It has the war against insecurity must be localized.
Very well.
Thank you so much, Stephen Okwori, for joining us on News Night.